Hola amiga. How are you?
Nice. Give me a moment. Oh hey, Taka and Haifumi are dead. Actually, I should say I'm tired and will probably do horribly at the trial. But I have an audience that can tell me all the answers. So that's a minor inconvenience. I already know who the killer is.
So,
Did you guess who it was right away?
I have never played Danganronpa, fortunately.
It's Celeste, isn't it?
I am Travis Scott.
So then.
I have auto-tune.
Hmm.
When are we going to watch Monarch dancing? Never. F.
However, however,
So in other words, what? What? I see. That's enough. Goodbye.
What? Let's see. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Oh. Huh?
It's all clear now. Goodbye.
Hey HECT, been a while. Hello.
Just a second.
Coincidence you're playing another game I dearly love.
Okay.
Cool, then you can do the trial for me. Have you been sad about anyone's deaths yet?
I mean...
Taka, I guess. Same.
Huh? Oh, hey, Makoto. Huh?
Taka is my favorite character from this game, and his character arc had just started. But then he got killed.
Don't be mean!
What? Well.
It's nothing. Hey.
You enjoying the executions so far?
And?
I mean...
Mondo butter. Lol.
Huh? Let me out of
Valid
here!
answer.
Got it all wrong!
It would seem...
Just because I'm extremely curious, who do you think done it? Celeste.
So then,
Celeste.
honestly,
I can't tell you if you're correct or not.
is that okay? Could it be... That's terrible!
AOI is correct. It is weird that Yagure fits the suit perfectly.
I know the whole 3-game series.
That's right.
Hmm.
What the heck?
So I won't tell you for spoiler purposes.
What are you saying?
What the heck?
Okay. Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on.
AOI
I'm
digging
blind
in
as a
on the
bat in here. Can't see my
21-year-old.
feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right?
Kill the
I
pothead.
mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hero could have fit into this dumb costume. Ah.
Um...
Just a second.
But...
Honestly.
And now he resorts to misogeny.
Makoto is only a little bit taller than Chihiro.
Just the worst. That's terrible.
What?
Makoto is indeed a manlet.
What the heck? What?
Just the worst.
Please! Huh? How about that?
So then,
A manlet with a
I'm at
hairy.
least 30% right.
correct.
Please. Oh, so then.
Makoto gets a waifu and then the waifu instantly dies.
Hey.
Just the worst.
So,
To be fair, he had 4 at the time.
Huh? Ah.
Sleep is calling for me. Good night.
Ah.
Don't be mean.
Just a second.
Night.
No way.
Ah.
Please.
Execute him now.
What the heck? Just the worst.
Please.
What are you saying?
I hate how much this case blue balls by Hedona for Hagakure.
What?
It's Celeste. I'll stand by that, even if I'm wrong.
Makoto. It would seem... Why is that? Anyway... Shall we go? Hey,
Well, clearly,
Correct.
despite what it's setting up, it can't be Hagakure. Not even the first child was that simple.
hey. Anyway...
as much as I wish it was Hagakure.
If he survives this, he
So
can
then.
still die later.
I knew it. I see. Hey. Whew. So then. That's right. In other words, however, Makoto, because hey,
I wish we got to keep Super Saiyan Ishimaru for longer.
is that right?
Yeah, it's sad.
So then,
Waste of character development.
indeed. That's right. Indeed. Why is that? Hey. So, however, is that right? So,
Like the stream and give me all your lunch money.
hey. So then, hey. Is that right?
Oh no. Here we go. Help me shut a coin.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone, please meet at
I
the
don't
usual
even want to
spot.
do the trial, I just want to
Make your
know
way
if
to
I'm
the red
right.
door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It would seem... Shall we go?
Too bad. Do the trial. And for the record, yes. Are you sure you're playing blind?
Yes.
Because your intuition is way too good on this otherwise.
Doesn't stop me from having no comprehension when it comes to the trials.
Now figure out how she did it.
But I wanna play gacha.
No gacha, it's trial time.
Monokuma appears! Wrong.
Whew.
Boy, tough crowd.
Stop talking.
Okay. Hey! Hey!
Let's go.
Please!
What the heck?
What the heck? Ugh. Ah!
Hey,
That's right.
I dunno why I consent to making myself look stupid in front of an audience. But I suppose I didn't know of the trials when I started playing.
Because secretly you enjoy it.
Yes, yes.
hey.
Damn.
Just the worst. Just the worst.
What?
Come on.
Yoo-hoo!
I feel the game tries far too hard to make you think it has to be Hagakure, because the man clearly is not smart enough to plan any of this shit.
He also has moronic sincerity.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know, I don't know!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true, it's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room.
Shoot!
Everything we found in your room.
Hey,
The
could it
blueprints, the suit
work?
parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about this!
It's not true! It's
Hiro, why?
no! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints,
Like the
suit
stream and give me
parts,
all your
they are
lunch
all
money.
proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know it! It's not true! It's
Hiro, why?
I'm
no!
lagging to
Just
hell and
hold on
back.
a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
I wish Hiro died already. So boring.
Shoot!
Say,
PFFFF. I should just go to sleep.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough. that
Sadly,
you are
stupid
the
is
culprit.
I,
unbreakable.
it's not true. It's
Hero, what?
no. Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts,
No, that's wrong. Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
what do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
I got it! Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found it.
Tell them NAEGI.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense! You just said Hiro didn't do it!
It makes perfect sense.
Greater than the Illuminati.
Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption!
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Shouldn't have put logic difficulty to the highest.
Of course.
I'm clearly
Before
not
we get to
logical
that,
enough.
There's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a
Heck
proper
plus
order.
logical, unfathomable.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
I got it! I got it! They were a dolly and a tar.
Tell them NAEGI.
So,
let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body.
I will repeat that every time Togami passes the buck of explanation to Makoto.
If they introduce new mechanics, I'll lose it. All the
That way,
characters
they
are
wouldn't
dumb.
leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is
Togami
no shame
knows.
in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely
I
understand what
mean,
is going
this
on
bitch
around
dumb,
you.
so it ain't hard.
Tell them NAEGI.
Here I don't understand what's going on. That's entirely right.
You know, for the ultimate gambler, Celeste sure sucks at bluffing. New mechanic for the rhythm game.
She bluffs about as well as I do when I'm playing Among Us and I'm lying for fun as crewmate to fuck with people. Tabulator key. Off.
wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst.
Why with you? My head.
You miserable wretch. You have it wrong.
Do your worst. You miserable wreck.
Hyper Combo.
Is this really the end for all of us? I refuse to give up
You
yet.
lose.
I really didn't realize there was a difficulty for these shitty minigames that was lower than kind.
There is absolutely no shame for lowering the difficulty to make this VN actually be a VN.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
Clicky. Hex disdain for shitty minigames in a visual novel always makes my day.
You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved,
SOF JRNRNRJ3. I cannot agree.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
These mini-games ruin the immersion so bad. Exactly. How the fuck am I supposed to imagine these BTBs taking place? Hector and I actually agree on something. They just walk up to one another and throw insults at each other. I just think it completely breaks story flow. You don't need mini-games in a visual novel. And probably, yeah. Which is just dumb.
And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then... what kind of robot is it?
Again, this is the visual novel that doesn't want to be a visual novel.
Which is dumb.
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately
You're a visual
obvious.
novel. A visual novel with death and shit, but still a visual novel.
Like they could have just made it like Ace Attorney and it would be so much better.
This isn't like Doki Doki where the poems actively change parts of the story. You can't do that in this.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp.
Just make choices and none of these half-assed mini-games.
Keep in mind that the dolly
Doki
doesn't
Doki.
have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
The trials don't even have alternate solutions until V3.
I don't think I realize anything.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the
And
culprit
those are
wrapped
limited
the
to
body in the
specific
tarp,
points.
Then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, it's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a
The
position
only
like
case
that?
truly with two solutions is the bad ending case. Even then, that whole case is a hot
Think
mess.
back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember? When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist.
I could become a certified detective after beating this game. Can't you just kick the trolley now? Real life cases are way simpler.
Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't
Not with
bend
something
over.
as heavy as a corpse on it.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid cummerbund,
I
it's
know,
very
I
unlikely
mean
you
the
would have the
trolley
dexterity
itself
to go about wrapping
funny.
the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
Trouble with the trolley, eh?
They don't suspect why both bodies aren't on the top. I really need that skill which effectively doubles health.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation.
Most of the
for everyone
skills are connected to
suspect him.
FDEs.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of
These
Hifumi being
people are
dragged
so
away by
dumb.
Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
To put this into perspective, there's only 4 also smart people in this room.
Why wouldn't you look at where both bodies are placed?
And one of them is Monokuma.
Sakura, Togami, Kyoko and who? Oh.
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Makoto
So long
doesn't
as those
count
facts
because
exist,
he's the player
the proper
avatar.
conclusion is beyond question.
Why can't I trigger flashbacks to prove my points? Why can't I trigger flashbacks to prove my points? Why do I have to shoot bullets? Togami is less smart and more analytical. His actions are still absurdly stupid based on the circumstances.
The individuals
And
inside
do
the suit
minigames.
and the culprit are one and
Because the
same. It
CPU
was
is a
Hero,
dirty cheater.
without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it.
Okay, 3 smart people.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we
I
explore
wish
every
Leon
single
was the
possibility?
protagonist, cause then that would have mean Yasuhiro would be first death. And boring Makoto wouldn't be as liked by the fandom.
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's
Kyoko,
review this
Monokuma,
series
and
of
the player.
unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
I don't get why Makoto is like so much. He doesn't even have an interesting backstory like Hajime in DR2 or as much impact as Kaidi.
I know it was an hour, because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out,
He has the
it
most
was
generic
Robo
personality of
Justice.
all the Doctor protags.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
He's not even that attractive.
Because he's bland, so he's easy shipping fodder.
But not long after leaving the
Because
nurse's
he is
office,
basically a self-insert.
Hajime is even better shipping fodder though.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone
I
moving
mean,
around on the
I
3rd
hate
floor,
both.
and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
I hate most Doctor survivors though.
And Kaidi
Then-
has tits, big ones at that.
Miniskirt and big tits. Nice.
at that point we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
She has the second biggest of the cast at minimum. Don't remember if Muse Bust is bigger and if it is not by much.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time.
I hope this ends soon.
Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising. We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This case would
But
be
when
so
we got
much
there,
easier
we
if they
discovered that
just
now
pieced
Taka's
together
body
the
had
fact that
also gone
Hifumi
missing.
isn't on a top and Taka was trolleyed in. Like him.
Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
Heck, can you figure out exactly what happens here? Do I look like the type who can figure these things out? And at 3 AM, no less. Good morning. Asking a bit much of me here.
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
They sure asked a lot about having an accomplice this chapter.
Finally, someone says it. It's hard to think about the trial when the game insists on showing Miki Yoko's legs.
Heck wants to be crushed by Kyoko's thigh.
Kyoko is bland, so it's easy for me to focus cause I want her to shut the fuck up. Well, yeah, I talked about an accomplice earlier, but I dunno who it would have been. The eye. Think about the most logical person. But I do know that Celeste is sus and you confirmed it. So I'm the smartest person in this chat.
And from there,
Who
we
would
can
be the
uncover
most
contradictions
logical
surrounding
speaking?
all of
You
them.
know who the killer is.
Well, you already sussed out who the culprit is. It seems pretty obvious who would be an accomplice.
The most logical accomplice. Hi, Food Me. Yep.
Ding ding ding. We
Now
have
then,
a winner.
Let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Hifumi kills Taka, who in turn gets killed by Celeste.
We all hate this trial, can you tell?
I mean, it's fairly obvious. It's trial 3, get used to it.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka
Trial
came
3
last
is literally always bad and it's always a double kill.
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
Kodaka
Hifumi
is
was
not
killed
very
with
creative.
Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
V3 has the best Trial 3,
So,
but no
regarding
spoilers,
Taka's death-
cause there's a reason I don't hate that one. Trial 3 of Game 2 though, fuck that one. I'm short.
V3-3 is honestly still pretty
I wonder
bad
if he
because it
died
blew
before
balls you so
Hifumi,
hard on one
or
of the
perhaps it was
concepts.
after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
Oh
Hifumi
yeah,
was
fuck
killed
the
with
actual
Justice Hammer 3.
case. The
while
actual
Taka's
case
death came from a
itself is
swing of
awful.
Justice Hammer 4.
See? So
And the ability for you to solve it relies on galaxy brain logic and the killer being an idiot.
So,
I
regarding
think I
Taka's
know.
death, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No, it's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
I'm so smart. I hate most of Game 2's trials tbh. It only takes longer.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
I think that only like the first one really doesn't have something that actively annoys me in it that isn't just general Danganronpa things I hate. Can't be watch. The word better not be shit like astrograph. Schizo.
I'm willing to bet you also figure out Chapter 4 instantly because that one is even more obvious than Hagakure being a red herring here.
Actually, just tell me the word again. My vocabulary sucks. Isn't Chapter 4 supposed to be obvious? IDK what the word is. Remember, I've never bothered to play this series cause my friends spoiled the entire games to me before I even knew what Danganronpa was.
Oh. Yes, but the characters are all too stupid to realize it.
Wristwatch.
Now I understand.
I mean, some people are just being snaky though, so lol.
See? Look! It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
even Kyoko and Togami aren't smart enough to understand there's literally only one possible answer.
Like the stream and give me all your lunch money.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was
That's
killed
why
before any of the other
Kyoko and
incidents took place.
Togami are analytical dumbasses.
Fact slipped past
And
all
that
of
is a
us.
low bar to fail clearing.
Yep. Join our rule-free Discord server, https://discord.gg/rpn4kb. Like, dislike the stream or while play Persona 4 again. Rigor mortis already set in. So it should be obvious he died long before Hifumi.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed,
Wrong
we hadn't met up in the
assumption.
dining
This
hall yet.
game loves those words.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
I like how Yasuhiro hasn't said anything since the start of the trial.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro
Because
and Kyoko.
Yasuhiro is a pointless waste of space.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office. And that's where we found
That's
his
fine,
body.
he literally has nothing to contribute.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
He
And it
literally
does not
only exists
stop
to
there.
derail
There was
conversations
also
and
the
waste your
moment When
time.
we discovered his
Hey,
body had disappeared.
Yasuhiro did something useless again. God, I wish Leon lived over him.
When his body vanished from the nurse's office,
I wish anyone lived over him.
Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then, there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them
At
anyway.
least Leon has
In
the
other words, it
interest
is
of hating
impossible
his
that
own
any
talent.
of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who,
Even
propose
Hifumi
we
is
start
better
talking about
cause
how.
at least Hifumi, does things. Like he's at least useful in trial too.
The only interesting thing Hagakure has is he predicts the bad ending in his FDEs.
Save Miki Yoko.
in particular, I think we need to
FDEs.
figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Free time events.
That's true. We searched
Oh,
everywhere.
I thought
but we
it
couldn't
was a
figure out how
game.
to explain his
Dumb
body disappearing.
Tempest.
Legally not social links.
Yeah, that ending is weird.
And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
I also feel like Sayaka's character was completely wasted by being the first to die.
If the dead body were to move itself.
Yeah. And it's why she gets called a snake. Even though others are way more snaky than her.
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with
Plus, the only character the MC knows before the game dying first.
We thought
Cliché as
Hifumi
fuck.
was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Well, duh, he was alive. Best trial. Especially cause retroactive Mandela effect, mainly about the fact that they assume she knows the trial exists, which no, they do not initially know.
Alive?
What the fuck?
Well, she does try to frame you.
Are
God,
you saying
shut the
Hifumi
fuck up,
wasn't
hero.
carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
I mean, yeah, but like
Simply
all
playing
Monokuma
dead.
says is that you need to not get caught.
That it isn't possible.
Nothing implies a trial would happen until after she's dead.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And
Monokuma
that
doesn't
is why
even
the
say you need to not get
announcement was
caught.
Whereas some
really so
others
sure about
actively
that?
abuse the
Maybe the
trial
announcement
system
was
to
intended
do
to
shit
signal someone
because
else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually
He only
still
reveals you need to
alive?
get away with murder
No.
after the fact.
It is impossible.
yeah,
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
also
Are you
I
saying
hate
that
the
when we
fact
first
that one
found
of the
him-
most favorite characters is someone who is basically just more developed Sayaka, but people hate Sayaka for the same reason. Like lol, what? You can't call her a snake. Then not call them a snake. Oh. You can keep temporary truth bullets. Yeah. WTF. Well then, this is simple.
There's a chance he was
Hex
actually
mind
still alive.
approaching 4 AM has hit
It is
overload.
impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement.
I'm pretty
along
sure
with
at
the
least
rest of
one
us.
argument in the game requires you to refute it with itself.
No, what?
No, it's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Late game enjoys using temporary bullets.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. Huh? He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, if that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
For the record, the blackened does not count towards the 3.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Since they're the ones who MADR the body.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay,
Like the
then.
stream and give me
Let's
all
take
your
another
lunch
look
money.
at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
He wiped his glasses. I feel you there, Celeste. Let's just get this execution on already. Because this shit is so long for no reason.
So, it would have been impossible to move Hifumi's lardus upstairs even with a dolly too.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, While me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
No, that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in
He
the beginning.
plane shifted on the astral level together.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found
Shut up,
Hifumi in the
Hagakure.
nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Why does Hero
That's a good
exist?
point.
Like he's just annoying.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up
To be the biggest
and walks out on
disappointment
his
in
own 2
fiction.
feet.
Like me.
And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible.
But then, if he was just
Just
pretending
keeps
to be
disappointing
dead,
his mother.
Yeah, pretty much.
what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body
Which I
is
still
easily
can't believe
explained.
his mother looks as good as she does.
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office,
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right?
You look at Hagakure, you look at his mother, you ask yourself how hideous his father had to be to result in Hagakure.
So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Oh.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Or maybe his mother just smoked a lot while pregnant. Hiro clearly has some brain damage.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away.
I was very
aren't you?
happy that Hifumi dropped this early. Couldn't stand a whole game of him.
Tell him NAFI.
Nafi. Hifumi, Hiro.
Hidden note?
Negi
right.
asterisk.
We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note
This
isn't
dude
the
has some
same one
shitty
Hiro
hair
got.
and no nose. I'd take the fat simp over Hagakure.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi at least is useful. Hiro is just a con artist who exists to be a red herring.
This dude has some weird colored eyes too.
Nice.
Hiro is the designated third imposter in Among Us.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection!
Hiro is me playing Among Us, but if I was unaware of the fact I intentionally lied.
Even when he isn't sus, he's sus.
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing
Yeah,
out
that's how I play, but I find playing like that fun.
I like the dude's hair. Still no nose.
Just to be clear, TikTok because Taka
HECT,
and
why
Puppy
does
is
nobody
Fumi,
have a nose?
right?
Hero, who is a cool guy, he grew on me. I never suspected him. Trial 4 is pretty clear cut from the beginning. Because it's anime.
Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Oh no, anime.
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
I mean, have you ever managed a one-round solo
But
imposter
remember
win?
what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok! Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
Yes. It was a 9-person game.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
And my partner went out on round 1. Because of me.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
And then I used the fact that I outed him to pretend like I was crewmate. I like voting out my fellow imposters. I'm being really vocal about it.
I had a 6-player game. I got 3 kills before they even found a body.
Once I fake quitted to get the imposters to vote for me, and since it was 7, people
The note
wouldn't
said to
vote
meet at
for
6
me if they
a.m.,
weren't.
which is the same time Taka was murdered.
Once I
You've
played
already
a
proven that
10-player
using his
game
wristwatch.
where there were like 6 kills in a
There's more.
round.
Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
This trial has the best execution IMO.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
No shit, Hero.
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note.
Brain thinking of a master plan.
There's only one way to explain it.
I wanna be done.
GTGHECT, have fun with the weep stuff, stay safe.
Taka
It's
died
Celeste.
clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind
Bye.
only one small scrap.
Bye.
Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After
It's
seeing all
Celeste,
this,
obviously,
Hifumi
an
was super
IDK.
involved
How
in this whole
these
thing
people
for sure.
take so damn long. Speaking how sketch she
He
is.
was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
He hit himself twice in the back of the head.
Wait! But
How
me and
does
Sakura were together.
Monokuma not get bored of this?
Stop trying to steal the
IDK.
spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
He is painfully bored, but
'Cause I
not for the
mean,
reason you expect.
According to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Ha ha.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar
I
instruments.
wanted to make a joke, but I held back for spoiler reasons.
Literally the only thing Hero contributes for the entire game.
But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
those were
Could you
accounted for
really
in other
call
rooms
this a
too.
contribution,
And I don't think either
speaking
one is
how
big enough to
obvious
kill
the
someone.
killer is?
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Considering how stupid the characters are, yes.
Fair.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out.
Do you guys like
How was the
B3?
culprit
I
able to
started
move
it
around
yesterday
so
and
freely
liking
with the
it.
weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out
Let's be honest, Game 2 and V3 have smarter characters than these people who are jerk characters.
And
No, it's wrong.
It's obvious to us because we have IQs greater than that of a
Murder weapon
goldfish.
wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
but seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
How bad is Celeste at this? Like, girl, you're so terrible at lying.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Thanks, Kyoko.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is...
No, it's wrong.
Code Kyoko Cartoon Network.
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been 1 murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only 1 person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have
Has
been the first one to
Makoto
act,
seriously
murdering
never
Taka.
heard of cost-benefit?
They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies.
Celeste killing
By
Hifumi
creating
is so
one seamless set
obviously
of
dumb.
circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the
I don't
very
think
beginning.
anyone aside from Togami here knows what cost-benefit is.
She should literally kill anyone else, cause I believe based on the rules, that means she'd be fine.
You think
Yes,
so?
he
I can't
contradicts
help
the
but
motive,
admire
but it would
but
make more
Still,
sense.
their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Amazing legs.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Libzaki Yoko Stantu. I'm just waiting for Heck to get to V3 and see Tenko. I know Heck will love Tenko.
Makoto somehow got 4 waifus, 2 of them are dead already though.
Oh, you know Lib. Okay.
Heck will like Tenko until she opens her mouth.
Makoto is literally shit with everyone now. I'm still salty about Sayaka. Heck will always
Here's my
like
answer.
Tenko. Who's Tenko?
It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Tanko will be your favorite character. She's my second favorite. I like the nurse girl.
I like how he's not even asking about who the other one was.
Michael.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
Michael
So what
is
you
the
are saying,
nurse
then,
girl.
Is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-brained, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot!
Shuichi is probably my favorite so far, before that it was actually Celeste.
Pardonnez-moi.
Don't swear.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is.
And the
Throughout
mask
investigation,
crumbles.
there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
There goes the accent.
Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Oh right, I gotta make the comic. Oh yikes. For a class.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual.
No, for the trial.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Oh, fuck the summary things. Hey, shut a coin. A fairy's less than human.
What?
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began
Yes,
our search for
subhuman
this
fifth.
individual, correct? And not too long after
Harsh.
that, do you remember
Absolute
what Celeste
cheating.
said?
Burn him like California's forests each year.
Depends. As long as they're not going to shove it in my face and aren't
We
pedos,
headed to
go
the
for
second
it.
floor
If
specifically
you
because
do
of what
one
she
of those
claimed to
though,
have seen.
fuck you. Take your shitty ass tastes out my life.
Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Not based.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
The only good fairy is the dead one.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
Wow. Wow, you don't say.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in
I
our
hope
minds.
they bring up the fact that she said guys. Oh, don't worry.
I don't believe it! Everything...
All in
The
due
whole thing was
time.
one big
All
act.
in due time.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Celeste, the kinda girl who thinks she's smart because she managed to lie her way to some prescription meds. True.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Oh.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
There it is.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
PFFFF.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this.
I love these
Enjoying
dumb as
the
fuck,
sight of us
annoying as
standing
shit
around, frightened and
characters.
confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die. We are going to die. Just like the.
No, it's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those
Shut the
guys
fuck
died.
up, Celeste.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
He
It has
does
to be
know
some kind of
guys
setup,
can
right?
refer to people in general, right? I do. But two people. I meant stupid as shit, dumb fuck Makoto. I don't get how they managed to do the picture, all things considered.
So let's put the suit
Like
on,
the stream and
and
give me all your lunch
then-
money.
then use
I
the
say
camera's timer
guys
to-
when I'm talking to two
set up a
people,
picture.
even if they're both girls. I don't know how I refer to two people when they're of different genders. But I don't think guys is the first word I'd use. Unless they explicitly don't want me to say guys, then I don't. Join our rule-free Discord server, https://discord.gg/rpn4kb. Like, dislike the stream while play Persona 4 again. But I'm also German, so hey, whatever.
Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away.
I'm not even gonna say anything.
I would say it's
Never
a picture
mind.
of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way! You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi
I
and had
like
him
how
carry my
some
weight!
of the white
You tried
noise
to make
is
me look like
just
the bad guy.
Monokuma laughing.
Like I said,
Toko sounded too cheap to be
ridiculous.
kosher there.
As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Dunno why, but Kyoko smiling is kinda cursed. Dunno why, but Kyoko smiling is kinda cursed.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Stop.
Checkmate? Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean,
Almost
checkmate?
5 AM with no sleep, heck kinda hitting the god tier. Dunno why, but Kyoko smiling is kinda cursed.
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into
Dunno
your
why,
little
but
guilty
Kyoko
box.
smiling is
One
kinda
little
cursed.
problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Nicknames was someone else.
I got it!
Hifumi only ever refers to
That's
people
right.
by their
Our
surname.
last names.
Her last
He called us
name
all
is
by our last
Yasuhiro.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
No. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
Yes, bitch.
Do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celestia Obama.
Ifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
As my name is Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it. Javier is great though. This performance is funny.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when
Yeah,
it boots up,
Javier
right?
does this scene well. Too bad the scene itself is dumb.
Monokuma told us all about it before.
But she gives it the performance of a lifetime.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Why is his name Monokuma when there's clearly
Even
two
when I
colors
put in check,
HES
it's just my
Duakuma?
nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes.
You know. Like the stream and give me all your lunch money. I might have done really well this time.
And that'll bring everything to an end.
But I don't know how the fucking comic should look like. Climax reasoning is my favorite section for sure. Cool, then you can do it. I hate this part cause it breaks narrative flow the most of all things. Yeah baby, pass me the controller. Join our rule-free Discord server, https://discord.gg/rpn4kb. Like, dislike the stream or while play Persona 4 again. Tell me what image goes in the first. Let's do it together as a team. You are and me hand in hand. Let me look it up, I don't even remember lol. I should pause in the meantime. All right. Let's rock. First one should be that weird profile. Of his fat face. Profile. Oh. Hifumi looking to the left. Then the clock. Then our best friend Hagature. Then the camera Grayman. Then the clock again. Then the bloody hammer. then the normal hammer. Then the other bloody hammer. Justice Hammer 2. What's the normal hammer for you? Hammer 2. Bloody Hammer 3 goes after. Yum potato chips. Then Hifumi looking like HES having sex. That one, yeah. At the end. What goes into page 9 then? Let me check real quick. Him smoking crack. This really is the best teamwork effort. Hifumi goes on page 9, the other bloody hammer goes on 10.
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice,
I was going off
the killer
memory
was
as
able
much
to
as
execute
possible.
a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him,
Well, so far I've always messed up at least one page in the previous trials. Mostly cause some images look same. Why?
they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault.
I like climax reasoning,
They did
mostly
all
because I
this
like the
just to
music.
create evidence that would put the suspicion
Just like
on
old
Hiro.
times.
When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
I like the
finally,
rhythm game the
6 a.m.
most.
They moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Had you failed the first one thrice, buddy?
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
That was just me figuring out how to do it so I could deliver a flawless performance on the 4th try. Oh.
The killer is you! And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Not paying attention. It's Hammer 4.
The killer is you!
Hammer
And
2.
that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Total failure.
The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims
Ha
to
ha,
solidify
just
Robo
kidding,
Justice as the
it's
suspect.
fine.
The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi. Just with these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds. That the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did.
This should be right now.
We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Togami.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
I know it's the third time I ask, but is there a S rank?
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or,
No.
no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time
I
to
never got
vote.
one, at least
Okay,
always are at
okay.
best.
If you would, please locate your lever and cast your
Me
vote.
too.
And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
They should actually make you vote. They do in 2 and V3.
Honestly.
I knew it. So then...
Indeed.
Say what?
Just a second. In other words,
Indeed.
I see.
Actually,
What?
are you okay with this? So then...
Damnation! Say what?
As for me...
Oh,
As for me...
What? Damnation! Say what? Completely unforgivable!
Most unfortunate. Actually,
What?
Indeed.
This is unforgivable! Completely unforgivable!
Honestly.
I swear I will save her!
Actually,
Hmm?
I see.
indeed.
The drills are clip-ons. It's been 4 AM when I was hoping the trial would end, now it's 5:30. Yep. They clearly are.
But
Let's see.
Well,
Are you okay with this?
so in the end,
What the heck?
Well,
don't be mean!
I wonder about that.
Why?
What the heck?
Hmm.
But
You little bitch! Hey! You little bitch!
This is fine. Honestly. As for me, isn't it wonderful? This is fine. There is nothing to be done.
Just the worst.
Oh,
I feel like stepping out of the school after graduation would be less than satisfying. Considering Monokuma
You
keeps
understand?
implying things.
What is this? Yes, indeed. Isn't it wonderful?
Hey,
Thrills, chills, kills! Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again, in another life.
What are you gonna do?
let me out of here!
Too bad. How strange. Hey! Hey! Wah-wah?
So then, you...
Ooh!
Hey,
Ooh! How exciting! See ya later!
So...
Hey,
Indeed. Hey,
What?
so...
Come on. What? Goodbye.
well then.
Yo!
Okay.
Shall we go? So then...
You really came.
You... However... What? Indeed. What? It's true. That's fine. Correct. Correct.
Oh.
Why, you... What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
Indeed.
Okay.
I see.
It's true.
You got it!
You know? You're serious.
Well...
According to the spirits...
However...
How about that? It's not like some occult mystery. The occult is bullcrap!
So,
You got it all wrong!
Huh?
So...
Actually... But... the end is nigh! Some crazy beam came out of nowhere and locked onto my hamburger. And as soon as the beam touched it, the burger started floating in midair. And then... still floating there, the entire burger started coming apart. One part of it just vanished, while the rest fell back into my hand. Do you realize what that means? It means the burger wasn't 100% beef. It must have had some pork or something mixed in. Something like 70% pork and 30% beef would be my guess. You can't trick me. How about that? Don't be mean!
yeah!
Of course.
Indeed.
Well,
But...
Good night. Gotta save the gas.